shehu namu kuma babanmu ya yaba yana da wani ta'ada idan an zauna ya ji daɗi yana da hujja shi ce jama'a mu ce alhamdulillah mu ce alhamdulillah ƙara cewa alhamdulillah ai wanga magana ne saboda na ga abin da ya birge muna tashi da kyar kaga an yi irin wanga zama a yi maganganu masu sada kyawawa haka ba da an gama da wani dr anthony dr bo mr professor wani sunan da ke wanda ba cikin suke amma yau ba irin iko da Allah tun wanda ya magana na farko har ƙarshe dukkan mu zalla ne mun san ciwo bayan haka our stand of existing protocols were established by the previous speakers, but I recognize our father Sheikh Yahya. All praises due to Allah, Lord of the world. I'm deeply honored to stand before you here at the National Mosque to reflect on a theme that is not just academic, but the very story of our community. The theme, cultural exchange and integration, Hausa influence on Ghanaian society, with special focus on national identity. To arrive at whatever I'm going to say, it requires that in this age where intellectual dishonesty is a punishable offense, to make references to Dr. Mahdi Adamu's book, The Hausa Factor in West Africa, and then Peter B. Clark's book, West Africa and Islam. And then the third one, a book launched just last week by Dr. Al-Hassan Mohammed, the former Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, there to say the Islamic influence in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, I also bring you warm greetings from the National Education Authority, as well as His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. But today I speak not just as an official, but as a fellow citizen, reflecting on the simple and powerful truth. Ghana is a nation driven by a movement of people, of ideas, of faith and culture. Our history, the caravans, culture, and the making of the Zongo. Long before a line called Ghana appeared on the map, our forebears were on the move. Caravans traded the trans-Saharan trade routes, linking great Hausa cities to Talaga and Wa, to Kumasi and Elmina. They came with coconuts, leather, and textiles, but they also carried with them language, dress, music, food, and faith. From this movement grew the settlement we call Zango, cosmopolitan quarters, where strangers became neighbors and neighbors became family. In Zango, a child could learn Quran recitation at dawn, bargain in Hausa by midday, hear Chi and the Bani afternoon prayers, and dance to highlight under the evening sky. Movement did not dilute our identity. It multiplied it. The very word Zango, meaning a stopping place, tells our story. Our forefathers did not just come to trade. They came to stay, to build, and to contribute. We are not guests. We are stakeholders with a historical legacy. our contribution from the margins and the mainstream. Let us be explicit about our contribution, ladies and gentlemen. Hausa and Zango influence is woven in the very fabric of Ghanaian life. In commerce, from the sale of cola and cattle in the past to the modern supply chain and small-scale industries today. Think of the famous A-times, and the host can place the picture of the A-times for me. All right, thank you. Think of the famous A-times trunk we still use in our schools. That is what you are seeing on the screen at the moment. They were all born out of innovations from Zongo, because we've used this item for so many years in our country. But we are proud to say that this is one of the contribution of the Zongo, because this is what people like Alhaji Jibril Mada and my Sheikh would admit and attest to this, brought to this country a Zongo person we have used and continue to use without any recognition. This is time we, mention or say loud our contribution, just so we'll be recognized and be given our rightful place within the society. In culture, suya is now a national snack. Tuozafi is a national treasure. The babariga and hijab are national symbols of style and faith. Our music, our food, our film, Ghanaian urban life is unthinkable without Zongo creativity. We should be proud of this. In civic life and faith, our chiefs' palace have long mediated disputes and supported community welfare. Politically, Accra's Sabo Zango was a beehive of political activity even before the birth of the CPP. Leaders such as Baku family, Malam Marukariki, the Mustafa Awero, and the young Brahima Muhammad, among others, formed the Muslim Association Party. Later, with the rise of the Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and the CPP, Zongo leaders helped establish the Ghana Muslim Council and the Muslim Youth Organization. That is today being replicated by the two major political parties, one calling it the Zongo Caucus and the other calling it the Nasara wing of their party. Notable names like Malam Seydou Dogo, SS Shado, Labaran Muhammad Brahima, Malam Abdullahi Buka, and many more stood tall in our nation's history. The following Zongo youths also rose to prominence in the CPP. The likes of Tairo Atata, Chale Abubakar Muhammad, Alhaji Sinari, Ahmadu Alasa, Champion Joker, and others played their part in national development. In sports, need we remind ourselves of the heroes like Baba Yara, Mohammed Polo, the late Alhaji Sani Abdullahi, the former Imam of Western Region, and Abdul Razak. Zongo talent has lifted Ghana's name in football and beyond. And today, this very national mosque stands as a physical and spiritual symbol of our deep-rooted contribution. This is not footnote to Ghana's story. It is central chapter. In journalism, we cannot forget the Imam Abbas family, the Abdulkader English family, and Alhaji Sise, who is here with us, all contributed their quota in journalism to move and shape the country's destiny. But we have challenges, and one of them being the false duality, but it's also a new opportunity. Yes, despite this legacy, we still face persistent challenge. The false idea that one must choose. Are you a Ghanaian or you are Hausa? This is false dichotomy. The beautiful truth is our identity is a harmonious whole. We are Ghanaians and Hausa. Our heritage does not subtract from our Ghanaian. It enriches it strengthens it. I'm happy my colleague, the lawyer, Arafat, explained things to the understanding of everyone. We at the National Identification Authority don't bestow on people nationality. No. What we do is to register people who have been, who are Ghanaians by law. It is the law that makes one a Ghanaian or a non-Ghanaian. But our job recently came with a lot of challenges. As if to say we have not finished dealing with the identity of our Zongo people when it comes to such national registration. There is a new canker brewing up. And that is the canker where people who just come to integrate in the Zongo quickly go ahead to want to acquire Ghana card and other national documents with the support, most of the time, of our own people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still battling to understand who, by this time, would have taken the issue of our nationality to court. And to remind my sister Jamila, today in the Zongo we don't talk about education. Because there is not a single house in Ghana today of the Zongo descent that has no graduate. There is no a single big family in Ghana that has no single lawyer in them. So it is with doctors and nurses. So we fulfill that part. We are proud of that. What is left for us is to justify our inclusion. If you are challenged, for instance, on the basis of the fact that you claim Zango Kano or Zongo Tuta is your hometown, and someone refuses that, have you taken it to court? You should. Because that is the only way to settle the matter. Can we continue to sit and watch people dictate for us? No! Nobody will do that for us. If we can contribute and do money, we can contribute and build houses. We can even take people to court on the issue of Ghana. Why can't we take people to court on the issue of Ghana? This is the time, ladies and gentlemen. We must, and it must be now, begin to challenge processes and issues, and also push for the agenda that moving forward, in such situations, we want to believe that using place or hometown is detrimental to the ordinary Zongo person. So from hence, documents and processes must have place of birth instead of what? Hometown. This is the time. Who is pushing for such ideas? Let us quickly, collectively, support each other into implementing such things so that the next generation who will come after us can be proud of what we have done. My brothers and sisters, let us remember our story is one of movement, of resilience, of contribution, and of unity. However, our quest for total integration and elimination of discrimination as promised by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in the NDC 2024 manifesto is stretching by the attempt of some unscrupulous people to obliterate an already fragile situation with the attempt to register unqualified Ghanaians in an attempt to satisfy their whims and caprices. This conduct poses a serious threat to the nation's identification system and must be discouraged by all, as it poses danger to our